Tally. I manifest. Want it, I see it, I got it, I get it, no question.
He'd like to know, what did the moon smell like?
It smelled like the dust from a fire, all the ashes. If you sprinkle a little water on it, and it smells like burnt charcoal.
Tally. I manifest. Want it, I see it, I get it, no question.
Yo, what's good, and welcome back to another episode of J Tally Reacts, bringing you the highest vibrations on YouTube. I got a dope video lined up for you guys today. We're going to jump into China's space program. Are they keeping it real, or are they fronting just like NASA? Turns out they're fronting, and turns out they're using the same techniques. But be sure to stick around to the end so you don't miss a beat. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do me a favor. Click that subscribe button so you don't miss a beat. As always, be sure to do your own research. Don't believe anything you see in these videos. I'm just here giving you more information that you may not already know. Whether it's real or not is going to be up to you to find out. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and click like. And let's jump right into the first clip. Here we go.
The Great Wall of China, one of the biggest wonders of the world, no? They say this side is, see, where they throw the arrows to the enemies, and that's why they built this giant wall to protect China from their enemies. But you know what's interesting and very curious? This side is outside China. This side is China. And this side is outside China. Meaning, this wall, the history is a lie. This wall was not built to protect China from these enemies. It's the enemies which are in this side are protecting themselves from China. So, the Chinese did not build this wall. Who built this wall? I'll tell you, research the Tartarian Empire, yeah, which was in all this area, and they were defending themselves from the Chinese, not the other way around. History is a lie, geography is a lie, science is a lie. They lied to us.
They did indeed lie to us, and why? So not only are they lying to us about space, but they're lying to us about our history, our geography, and this Tartaria thing keeps coming up, like not just in America, but also in China. So whoever's telling the lie, like I said last episode, it goes above government. Keep that in mind as we watch this video.
Now, it is very obvious, and I'm sure most of you have noticed this already. Notice the Earth in the background? They're supposed to be in space, but it's flat. The horizon is flat. Not round, but flat. So I'm guessing that China forgot to use the fisheye lens for this view right here. Now let's look at it from another Chinese news network.
Whoops.
Now here we are again with a
more
flat horizon. Actually, it's more concave flat in this video. But what I want you to pay attention to is watch this strap just come out of thin air. It even looks like it kind of went in the clouds there a little bit. You see that? Okay, looks like on this one here, they actually added the fisheye lens. But I want you to watch the astronaut's feet. Watch it disappear in the same spot the strap disappeared into. Watch this right here, look. So that tells me they're using some kind of split screen and putting two images together right here. And you can really see it right here when they show the sun coming over the hood.
Pause. So now China's using green screen, or split screen as you call it. I would call it green screen. They're using fisheye lens, or not using fisheye lenses. Like I said, this goes above government. There's some force that's controlling all of this, right? And what's crazy to me is like China and Russia and I think Iran, like most of these countries we're at war with, aren't in the centralized banking system. And I thought it was like, you know, they're on different teams, but still someone's controlling them even above the centralized banking system. Isn't that weird?
Horizon, Once again, it's a flat horizon, but look right in the center of your screen. The sunlight just stops. It's a split all the way down the center of the screen. You see that right there? And then it's total blackness on the other side. Now, right here, they actually do show a fisheye lens or some kind of split screen, as you can see the sun coming over the supposedly curved earth. Look at that line straight down the middle right there. There's a split in this. They're putting two pieces together. It's trickery, people. Trickery. See that split right in the screen? Now watch it pop in. Look, check that out. Oh my goodness, China. Y'all weren't trained with the green screens and the CGI very well at all. Okay, now look at this one. This one right here is a really, really good one. Check it out. Look at the earth. Look at the land mass there. Where's the oceans at? The earth's supposed to be 2/3 water. Where's the ocean at right here, people? Nothing but land. CGI bullcrap, people.
See how the moon is rusting?
I've heard about it.
So there's this kid that took the most high quality picture of the moon ever taken. Over like 2,000 images that he combined. And you can clearly see that the moon is rusting. And then I saw this on NASA. Research indicates the presence of hematite, a form of rust that normally requires oxygen and water. This has scientists puzzled. Hematite is a name that is derived from the Greek word meaning blood.
All right.
Joel
Crazy.
2, it says, "The sun shall be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes. And it shall come to pass that everyone who calls in the name of the Lord shall be saved."
That's weird.
It's throughout scripture, the moon turning to blood, and like, what does that mean? So like the Bible, it was ultimately translated into Greek at one point, right? And the Greek word for blood is hematite, the same word that they use for this rust.
Yeah.
And so it's like the moon has hematite on it.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's all gonna end soon, see you better.
End times is coming, my friends.
Several months ago, China actually sent a rocket to space, the Tianzhou 9. Check this out. They literally put it in front of your face. Like, what is this? What are they trying to show you? We can sit here and pretend like, oh, they're going to space. Your heart knows that's water. I mean, just look at it. It literally looks like a boat going across water. Like, does it not? They threw the proof right in front of everybody. And then check this out. This is hysterical. Like, come on. Who is filming that? Star Wars is more believable than that. Like, somehow there's just a camera that's just kind of following them through space. The firmament is real. Space is fake. As above, so below. The dark waters above are all color. Stay woke, y'all. Love you guys.
And they messed up, right? Because realistically, they should have made all our space stuff like straight Star Wars CGI green screen. Then it would have been at least entertaining. Like, watching space is so boring. It's like, bro, with the budget you guys have, I want to see aliens come out. I want to see Thanos shoot out of a time portal, grab the space shuttle, throw it into the moon, and then like just see some astronauts pop out with American flags across their chest and just like rocket launch them. And like when it hits them, no sound because they're in the vacuum of space. Let NASA hit me up. I will come direct you guys some beautiful, beautiful scenes, and we'll make space fun again. Let's make some shirts. Make space fun again. That's what we're going to do.
Food out in the sun, it gets dehydrated. If I put food out in the full moonlight, it gets putrefied. It putrefies really fast.
Y'all, some of the stuff that this gentleman points out about the sun and the moon is absolutely mind-blowing. Take a listen.
So it rots. It's exactly opposite. And then you can also, at nighttime, when the moon is full, you can pull out a thermometer and put it out in the light of the moon, right? And let's say, as an example, the thermometer reads 70 degrees in the full moonlight. If I put it in the shade of the moonlight, it actually gets warmer. And I pull it out, it gets colder again. So the moon's light is cold. It's not hot. So it's not reflecting the sun. It has nothing to do with the sun. That's what I mean by it's its own light. And that's a simple scientific experiment. Anybody can do it. Thermometer. I don't know if you've ever done it, but I've lived in the northern climates before. And a lot of times if I park my car under a tree, I'll come out to my windshield, to my car in the morning, and half of my windshield will be frozen and the other half won't be. It's happened many, many times, and I never really thought about it until a few years ago, and I put it all together. I'm like, wow. The reason it frosted over is because the full moon light hit that part of the windshield, and this part was underneath the tree in the shade.
So we're rotating around the Earth, the sun.
Exactly. I'm proposing to you that the sun and the moon are moving around us, just like it looks like. They are the same size, not 400 miles further, bigger, and 400 times further apart. It's very much the same. The sun, and astrologically speaking, I think the moon has just as much of an impact as the sun on us. One is our conscious side, one's our unconscious side. One's gold, one's silver, one's hot, one's cold. From our perspective, the moon and the sun are the same size. From our perspective, but they tell us, science tries to tell us that we're going around the sun, and the moon's going around us. It looks like, and from our experience, it looks like the sun and the moon are different. They're the exact same size. They have power. We can feel their power. Like if you believe in astrology at all, like all of our ancestors have always believed it. They believe that the sun, the moon, and all the stars, each of the individual stars have their own power. They have their own potency that they're affecting us. So like if you're born on a particular day of the year, okay, that's your sun sign. You're a Gemini. And then the exact day that you're born will know, okay, that's where the moon was in the sky. And then they can take a picture of the entire sky. They know exactly where all the planets were the moment you were born. And that's going to impact your entire life. All of our ancestors said the sun is masculine, the moon's feminine. I mean, we can just go on and on and on. And it makes sense. Like if you see the world like that, everything starts clicking. Like all these weird questions that we have from our perspective, from our society, are all basically they're all science questions. They're like, well, if we this and that, then and then you come up with all these weird questions. But if you just see the Earth as simple, that's how I see it. It's just very simple. Basically, what it boils down to is the sun is not the center of our galaxy. We are. The sun, the moon, all the planets are revolving around us. And not just us as a whole, but I like to tell people, like, your mom and dad told you the world doesn't revolve around you. And I like to tell them, yeah, it does, actually. It totally revolves around you. Whatever you think and believe is the world that you're going to have. Your thoughts, your perspective, the things you expect happen. You know, we live in a magical universe.
And real quick on that, we already know they lie to us. Then they lie to us about astrology too. Astrology's fake. But we already know that every religion comes from astrology. And then we know that, is this mic the right? Oh, sorry guys. And then we know that there used to be 13 months. The 13th zodiac was called Ophiuchus, something like that. It was the snake bearer. It was a man who was holding a snake. So once again, we have snake in this. Why'd they pull that out of astrology? Why the lie? Think about it.
To you.
Hi. Good afternoon, all the students on Earth. I'm Jai. I'm the commander. Good afternoon. My name is Ye Guangfu.
Absolutely correct. The standard cup will not work in a weightless environment. You know, the cup that we're all used to drinking. Wait, I have a cup right here. A standard cup like this does not work in a weightless environment. It requires gravity to hold the food in the bottom of the cup.
Uh-oh.
Now let's play devil's advocate real quick. I've seen this video a lot with the water stationary in the cup. I've never been in a weightless environment, but maybe Newton's first law, an object in motion stays in motion unless it's acted upon by another force. That could be what's going on here. Maybe the water is going to stay in the cup stationary until something touches it. Maybe not. I have a video later that kind of disproves that theory, but here we go. Stay to the end.
Chinese factories are exposing luxury brands.
Made in Italy or made in France. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China.
China makes 80% of your designer bags.
Who's the Chinese supplier behind Under Armour? Shenzhou International. Nike shoes from China to your country?
Who are the suppliers behind Solomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, la 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 la? First, Baocheng Factory.
It's not just calling them out. They're showing the world exactly where your $1,000 handbag or your $100 leggings are really being made. They're now offering you the same exact stuff, no middleman, no markup.
Cost $10.
In a bold move that seems more like economic warfare than manufacturing, Chinese workers are lifting the lid on $1 billion illusion. The bags, the shoes, the clothing that say made in Italy or designed in Paris. A huge chunk of them are actually being produced in China. And with Trump's new tariffs hammering Chinese exports, the factories are fighting back by selling directly to you online and calling out the whole hypocrisy. And on TikTok, it's gone viral. Factory workers and agents are filming inside production lines, showing piles of Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci purses, Lululemon leggings. Some say we make the same thing the brands sell, but for $20, not $2,000. Videos show labeled items sold from the same factory floor at 1/10 of the price.
Lululemon sells this jacket for nearly $100, but here only costs you $6 to $5.
The exact same item, just no label. And these videos, they're getting millions of views. And these aren't fakes. The bags and shoes being sold are real, or at least made in the exact same places with the exact same materials. Because luxury brands like Prada, Armani, and even Louis Vuitton outsource a ton of their manufacturing to China, and now we're learning this for real. They ship the parts to Italy, do the same little thing with the stitching, maybe slap on the label, and boom, made in Italy. It's legal, but it isn't honest. If you're just throwing a label on something and saying made in Italy, but the whole thing was actually made somewhere else, you're lying. One investigation recently found that Chinese-run factories were paying workers $2 an hour to assemble $1,800 Armani handbags. And they still got the made in Italy stamp. It's all smoke and mirrors. These TikTok exposés are cracking the illusion wide open. If your $2,000 purse is made by the same hands as a $50 duplicate, why pay 40 times more? It's not just China breaking the rules, it's the brands gaming the system. And now, the workers who have been hidden behind the curtain, they're stepping into the spotlight and showing the world the truth. And frankly, I'm all for it. Expose these luxury brands that have been ripping us off for too long. The world's factory is speaking, and the message is clear. You've been paying
way too much is how he was going to end that.
Okay, we are currently in the year 2025 and people still need proof that NASA and all the space agencies are deceiving the world. So if you're looking for proof that NASA is a space studio, then congratulations, because you have found the right video. Check this out. Last time I checked, water floats in zero gravity, yet right here we have a glass of water sitting perfectly still on a table in space. No floating blobs, no drifting drops, just a normal cup like it's chilling here on Earth. So either the laws of physics magically change for astronauts or the whole thing is a stage set. How many more glitches do we need before we stop believing in this Hollywood show? So what is this guy grabbing right here? It seems to be an invisible CGI object that they forgot to edit in. And then right behind them, they have a guy floating past on some ropes. Now, why would he be floating past on ropes? Because this is a studio. You see, in true zero gravity, water doesn't sit in cups or on tables, it forms into floating spheres because surface tension takes over. That's why astronauts are supposed to drink from sealed pouches with straws. So if you see open glasses, dangling ropes or CGI masking, that is not physics, it's film production. But needless to say, we have found CGI glitches with these spherical water droplets as well. Just watch. Boom. Disappeared. That wasn't real. Watch again. And CGI disappeared. So when we know that they're even faking the water spheres that take the tension of the gravitational pull, then we have to question it. For decades now, they have been selling us a story that rewrites how nations think, spend, and even obey. But now, independent researchers and legal teams are taking NASA to court since last year, and this is an ongoing case which should be finished, but they have such power with the same networks, the contracts, and the PR power to keep smothering the truth. But every document, every glitch, every whistleblower chips away at this lie. So stay loud, beautiful people, share this video and don't let them rewrite our reality. But obviously, for the sensory reasons, this was just for entertainment, and I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
So now Russia's claiming that the United States never landed on the moon. Well, that's because we didn't. Doesn't everybody know this already? Let's look at what Buzz Aldrin says.
I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon,
No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation.
You've been to the moon in such a long time.
Didn't go there, and
And that's the way it happened.
So why are these conspiracies coming to the light? Like the moon landing, the Kennedy assassination, the Illuminati? Well, because the Discordian movement of the 1960s, the Discordians were a parody religion that worshipped the goddess Eris, who's the goddess of chaos. It's no secret that most of the United States government are Freemasons. What do the Masons believe in? Orbo ad chaos. Order out of chaos. To create order out of chaos, you need something to create chaos. Like the Discordian movement that worships the goddess of chaos. So they scripted all these conspiracies in magazines like Playboy. Playboy in itself was a giant CIA operation. The Playboy Mansion was a honeypot, and Playboy magazine was meant to push these conspiracies. Because we are witnessing the controlled demolition of the United States of America so that the real conspiracy can happen. The New World Order can take over. But yeah, the moon landing, definitely, I don't think it happened. Why wouldn't we have gone back? If we went once, we'd be able to go back, right? It's been like 70 years. Not only that, put a webcam on the moon. Like, can we see what's going on the moon if we've been there? This is ridiculous. And please don't get me started on Mars.
This is the first picture the world has ever seen where Putin, Xi Jinping, and Kim Jong-un are all together. And the significance of this gathering cannot be understated. Today, we witnessed China put on the largest military parade in their history. All major roads were closed, schools were shut down, and they even—
And in all fairness, Buzz Aldrin was misquoted. Like, they cut off that video. That's not really what he said. He really didn't say that. We didn't go, but... And then another weird thing is the last time I did DMT, that was the message I got. I did it right around the time of the LA fires, and the message I got was this whole simulation is controlled chaos.
had weeks of midnight rehearsals and security preparations to make sure that today went off without a hitch. One by one, world leaders started arriving, most of which are the names that you would expect, like Kim, Putin, etc. In fact, for good old Kim, it took him 20 hours just to get to China, because he got there on his infamous slow armored bulletproof train, traveling between only 45 and 80 kilometers an hour. However, also attending were world leaders that in the past few decades, they lent more to the West, like Turkey, Egypt, and Vietnam. In fact, no Western leaders attended apart from two. We're looking at you, Serbia and Slovakia. And when Donald Trump saw that Putin, Kim, and Xi were having a 2.5-hour private closed-door meeting, he tweeted this: "May President Xi and the wonderful people of China have a great and lasting day of celebration. Please give my warmest regards to Putin and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against the United States." Now, it wasn't just what they spoke about that will be of concern of Western leaders watching. It'll also be the new weapons that China unveiled. These included new powerful laser weapons capable of taking out swarms of drones, burning electronics, or even blinding pilots, new nuclear ballistic missiles with a range capable of striking US mainland, giant underwater unmanned drones, and also a number of weapons which display China's heavy investment in the future of warfare, including drones, smart tanks, AI-assisted weaponry, and of course, even robot dogs. In fact, today on Chinese social media, all of the top searches were about the parade and its weapons, including the fourth one talking about their new ICBMs having the striking range that covers the entire world. But for Xi Jinping, what means more than showing off new weaponry is showing off a new world order, one that challenges the West and its allies, but also one where China is positioned right in the center. In fact, in Xi's speech overlooking the military parade, he said, "The rise of the Chinese nation is unstoppable. Strength may prevail for a time, but over the long arc of history, it's reason that wins." So the question is Donald Trump's foreign policy pushing these countries together to strengthen their relations? Or was what we saw today inevitable and would have happened no matter who was in office?
If you go to China, they're piloting it a few years ago in Shenzhen. So I lived overseas. If you go to Shenzhen, back in 2017, they already had facial recognition cameras there. So if you jaywalked in Shenzhen, they would immediately detect that and send you a notification, and they would deduct money from your what they call WeChat account. They use two main apps, WeChat and Alipay. So you can actually deduct your money directly from your account. This is 4 years ago, so this is not like some sort of conspiracy theory. It's not something that's going to happen 10 years into the future. This happened pre-corona in China. And so this system in China that exists is extremely advanced. They can detect if it's a man or a woman. They can guess your age. They can detect what kind of car model it is, who the manufacturer is. This is a sort of technology that we see in all these dystopian sort of films and whatever. And people keep putting it off and thinking that this is something that's going to happen later in my kids' lifetime or my grandkids. It's already here. And if this gets implemented anywhere, especially in a Western nation, it's not going away. Israel is already talking about the 4th shot. Then they're going to be going to herpes, and they're going to ask if you're gay. They're going to be asking if you ate 3 pizzas this week because it's unhealthy. If you buy certain books in certain countries, your country doesn't like you, you'll lose points in the social credit score system. So this is already the reality of the world in certain places, and we need to be aware of that if we don't want that or if we do. And to be perfectly honest, anybody who wants this vaccine passport, it's a misnomer. It's total control. Everything you do or don't do will be calculated. To the point where if they can detect your GPS signal, if you have a phone on you, they can detect who you're hanging out with. Oh, you're hanging out with somebody that said something bad 9 years ago on Weibo. Okay, like a Chinese equivalent to Facebook or something like that, right? Oh, you lose 2 points. Oh, you bought Japanese books. You lose 5 points because you don't like Japan. This is what is going to come here because it's already there.
And we're doing that a little bit with contact tracing for COVID, aren't we? So that they can see where you're at and who you're with.
The simple reality is that the technology that CSIS has and all these big tech corporations, they already know where you are. It's just that they don't want to shock the system too much and admit that they have it. Edward Snowden revealed all this back in 2013. He fled to Hong Kong. They wouldn't keep him there, so now he's in Russia. Yep. But the NSA has all of your information. They know your Google searches from like February 9th, 2004 in a bunker in Colorado.
Help me, Rhonda.
Right. They have all this information. So, but they don't, like in the US, they have the 4th Amendment. They're not supposed to track you forever.
Yo, forget about aliens. Forget about war. This scares me the most. Social credit score is like terrifying because they're taking away our voice at that point. If they don't like what you say, they're going to cut off your money and they're going to cut off your power. If you haven't already got a copy of my book, Cheat Codes to the Simulated Life, you can get that on Amazon today. Once again, that's Cheat Codes to the Simulated Life, an epic guide to metaphysics and manifestation, available on Amazon. Because if life's a game, there must be cheat codes, and you can have them. I also wrote a manifestation journal. It's a 90-day workbook that'll help you learn how to manifest like a pro. If you want to manifest love or a home or a car, all these exercises are in there. It really helps you target in on what you want and helps you get it. Let's jump right back into the video. Here we go.
He'd like to know, what did the moon smell like?
Good question.
It smelled like the dust from a fire, all the ashes. If you sprinkle a little water on it, and it smells like burnt charcoal.
Voy a la playa, había subido la marea.
Have you seen what Chinese news organizations have claimed? If you're one of those individuals that believes something is real because it's on the news, then have a look at this. China is claiming that they took out a UFO with a missile right out of the sky. Watch this very carefully. Wait for it. There it is right there, the UFO. And watch what they do to it. Gone. So the question still needs to be asked and then answered. Why is it all of a sudden everyone had claimed that these things do not exist, and now they're showing us all these videos and all the claims that are being made, that they're being shot down, that they're flying over areas, and they're taking them out? So does that put us back to square one, where don't believe anything that they tell us, because everything that they're saying is about to happen, they've already known about? And what's sparking even more concerns is that video that you just watched with your own eyes aired on Chinese news networks. It's just so coincidental that this is happening now. It's kind of like all of a sudden we're being told about Atlas 3I, right? We've been told about the missile system that we shot at some UAP and it deflected off and we were unable to shoot it down. It's very, very, very convenient that 2025 we're hearing about all of these different events and seeing all of these videos all at the same time. So once again, my question to you is, everything that they're telling us, everything that they're showing us, is it something that is about to happen, Or is it something that they already know about and they're preparing us for? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. It makes me feel like these UFOs are government property, because who in their right mind is going to shoot down a UFO that's filled with ancient aliens and they don't know what kind of technology these things have? And if these governments are starting wars with these ancient entities, then they have to step down, right? We have to take over. We have to come together. Once again, another reason to come together. But who is in their right mind is going to start a war with an alien race? They must know who's operating these crafts or these drones or whatever they are, right? They must know. They must know. What do you think, though? Do they know?
Scientists just broke a law of physics that scientists literally believed was unbreakable for decades, and it quadrupled the energy output. So basically, China just built a reactor that recreates what happens inside of our sun. It's called EAST, and it's short for none other than the Experimental Advanced Superconducting Tokamak. Okay. It's able to heat plasma over 100 million degrees, which is 10 times hotter than the core of our own sun. But here's what just happened, because for decades there's been a rule in fusion physics that's called the Greenwald limit. It's basically a ceiling on how much fuel you can pack into a reactor before the plasma becomes unstable and collapses. Literally every single fusion experiment on Earth has been bound by that, and scientists treated it like a wall that couldn't be broken. Well, China just broke it. They were able to push the plasma density 1.3 to 1.6 times past the limit, and they did it by controlling how the plasma interacts with the reactor walls from the very first second of ignition. And they're saying that by doing that, it kept the impurities out and the temperatures balanced. Obviously, I don't know what that means, and you probably don't know what that means either. And here's why this actually matters, because they're saying in fusion, doubling the fuel doesn't just double the energy, it quadruples it. So the math ain't mathin'. They built a literal star, they broke the rules, and the energy multiplied. Meanwhile, we are still arguing about solar panels.
Now they're building stars?
Oh, that's right, Grover. This is the fiction section. Fiction means it's a made-up story. Fiction means it's a made-up story.
But why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
The person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat, and 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
First of all, lad, we've got to get all these medieval ideas.
I used to love that movie.
Clear the way for new ideas. Knowledge of man's fabulous discoveries in the centuries ahead. Now that'll be a great advantage, boy.
Advantage indeed. If the boy goes about saying the world is round, they'll take him for a lunatic.
The world is round? Yes, that's right. And it also goes around.
Yo, that bird was always in a bad mood.
It was literally meant to be an antichrist movement to make people believe in man. It's a fact. I'm going to show you guys. It's like, you can look this up anywhere. Look up Jack Parsons and the Apollo program. They just wanted people to believe in scientific advancement. The guy who created the Apollo program was this guy, Jack Parsons. Can you pull up this clip, Skylar? You know, this is from a podcast, the Science History Institute Museum and Library. This is one of their podcasts, and you scroll down here, and you, again, are probably going to have to make this bigger for my eyes, but
Thanks a lot, Candace.
You are ready for the number?
Yes.
At one point, I projected under 400 million.
What?
500 million. Under 500 million.
Under 500 million.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that they have a very similar population to the United States and China?
Yes. There's 1 billion people missing.
And this goes back to what we were saying in the beginning or earlier in the podcast with all of the fake IDs and all of this stuff being found out.
Yeah, there's possibly 1 billion people missing. It's not a demographic question, Danny. It's a mathematical question. Let me ask you. It takes a couple to have 2 children to replace themselves, right? Think about it.
Yes.
If every couple produces 2 children,
the population stinks level.
Right. So, do you know how many children does every woman needs to have in her lifetime in order to triple its population in 50 years?
To triple its population in 50 years, you have what? Let me guess.
6.
Terrible math.
I'll give you the answer because I asked AI. It's a crazy mathematical. If a country needs to triple or grow its population by 2.5 times, let's just say 2.5 times.
Okay.
Over a span of 50 years.
5 kids?
Each woman, you're right, each woman needs to give birth on average between 4.5 to 5.5 children.
Wow.
Okay.
Which they were doing. Like, my grandma had 5 kids. Most of our grandparents had 5 kids, right? And then my mom only had 1. And I don't have any. So the population is getting smaller. The question is, why would they lie about it? And in my opinion, and once again, this is just my opinion, if they tell you America has, and this isn't China, but if they tell you America has 100 million people, right? Let's just do a round number. And they need to win a vote. Because remember, China doesn't even vote. So I don't know why China would be lying about this. But if they needed to win a vote, they could just be like, oh yeah, 60 million people voted for blah, blah, blah. Right? But I have no idea why China would be lying about it. And that video did have a track in it, so if it gets silenced, there are captions there, but she was just saying that China's population is a lot smaller than they say. Sometimes YouTube hits me with copyrights on the music in the background of these clips, and if you do see a silenced clip, that's why. For those of you who don't know, a lot of people in the comments have been asking why certain clips are silenced, and that's why.
So, although Neil Armstrong, Neil A, spelled backwards is alien. Coincidence?
You believe we actually went to the moon, though?
Yes, we went to the moon a few times, actually. And played golf on the moon.
Okay.
We didn't just go to the moon. We actually got a little bored and started playing golf on the moon.
But why didn't the flag move? There's like that
That
conspiracy
was the jump the
theory
chalk moment.
about the flag?
No, the playing golf on the moon.
Oh, okay.
You know, I literally did.
No, I understand that.
Yeah. Whacked a golf ball on the moon.
There's no gravity though, right? So like
There is gravity, 1/6. If it wasn't gravity, you'd just float away.
Okay.
There's no atmosphere,
Okay, fair.
but there is 1/6 gravity.
One thing you have to remember about the elites is they like to tell you the truth in plain sight. So they will make you think that they're just being sarcastic and joking when they're saying these things directly to you or to like on TV. But what they're actually saying is some level of truth. They have to give some level of truth with everything so that people figure things out. But if he like said this seriously, no one would believe him. Be like, oh, you took a secret mission to the moon and you play golf and you know that Neil Armstrong is actually an alien because his name is spelled backwards. That's a secret sign. Well, we know that the moon isn't actually a rock in the sky. We've known that for a while. The world is waking up to that. They know that the moon landings didn't happen. So where did he actually go then, if he said he's been to this whole other place where you can play golf in anti-gravity, this whole other realm? Well, let me show you. Now, we know that the moon is actually a reflection in the sky that shows a map of all the land that's on Earth, but also all the land that is beyond. We only see a portion in the sky on the moon map, because that is all that's being reflected back to us. But we know that if we shift our position, we will see other parts of the moon would show other lands. And this is what the Germans are trying to do in World War II. So possibly Elon Musk has already been to these other lands that Hitler was trying to go to, and he discovered a place where the laws of physics are a little bit different. Because you see, on the right side, that's all our continents. On the left is places that we haven't been yet, and that's being hidden from us. Perhaps that's where Torred is, the time traveler.
Yo, that theory's so crazy and it lines up perfectly. If you haven't heard about that, look into it.
Объекты на этом фото ей кажутся ненастоящими. В то же время вот фотография китайского лунохода у нее особенных вопросов не вызывает. А это то, что кажется не настоящим?
Yo, this is so crazy.
Гугловская, не наша. Так, чтобы не было предвзятости. Удивительно, но там точно вот... Она смотрит по очень много параметров, в том числе там, падение светотеней и так далее, и показывает, что инкорпорировано в фотографию.
I heard a theory that Russia actually teaches their students that America never went to space. This is China's lunar lander, and they said this is real. I love Joe Pesci.
A rover landed on the moon, and the pictures they sent back stunned everybody. Either NASA's been lying to us all these years, or China's pulling a fast one, because their pictures show the moon as being a reddish-brown color, not gray. This is a picture of moon's surface from NASA. As you can see, it's very gray. But here's another picture from NASA. If you look closely, the reflection on his helmet, it shows a colored moon. It looks very similar to the surface of Mars. So the big question is, why was NASA lying? What are they covering up? They reached out to NASA for comment, and they claimed it had to do with the lighting and the reflection of the sun. They basically made up a bunch of roundabout bullshit. So what's the deal? What are they covering up? Why would they tell us the moon's gray when it's actually a colored brown surface?
Right.
Let me know in the comments.
Now, more than a month after Chang'e 3's successful moon landing, China has released new photos of the Earth taken from the moon by the mission's lander. Two photos were shot by the lander's camera on December the 22nd. The other was shot on the 25th, Christmas Day. And the pictures are of a partial Earth. As evening approaches, scientists say the lander is unable to take a picture of the full Earth. And that's because when the Earth is in full sunlight, the moon landing site is in a shadow, meaning the lander's solar panel cannot provide enough power for the camera. And so far, over 4,600 photos have been taken during the mission. And this is the first time a Chinese spacecraft has photographed the Earth from a celestial body.
I'm not saying the moon landing was faked, but there's an argument that it is impossible for humans to leave something called the Van Allen belt. Okay? The Van Allen belt is an electromagnetic field that protects us from cosmic radiation. So that the belts themselves have heavy radiation. So if you go into it, you die. But also if you leave the Van Allen belt, there's nothing to protect you from cosmic radiation, so you could die as well. So some scientists actually believe that it's impossible to leave Earth. Okay, we'll just die. I don't know how they were able to do this. And as you may know, right now, a lot of countries, America, China, are trying to get back to the moon. They're having a really hard time. Okay? They're having a hard time because NASA lost all the technology, lost all the footage, lost all the data. Oops. Oh well. Okay. So how was NASA able to keep the secret? Well, guess what? A lot of their most important people were Freemasons. Okay? This is Buzz Aldrin, one of the 3 astronauts. He was a Freemason, okay? John Glenn, the first American to orbit the Earth, was a Freemason, 33-degree Mason, okay?
So as we already know, most of these people were Masons. And to my question before, and who's pulling the strings on all these lies? It's got to be the Masons, right? It's got to be whoever's in charge. It's not the governments. Maybe it's the Masons.
Let me tell you something, Joe. I know some
act.
And that makes sense to me. Same reason why the files, no one's going to be prosecuted, because I feel like Trump's like, oh, well, instead of prosecuting them, we could just blackmail them and get every vote we want to swing our way.
Focus on the heart in the center of your chest, but it used to be the left side. Mandela effect, like, oh, and I know the Monopoly man had him on a cold roll. Why are they capping? The Raisin Bran son had a pair of sunglasses. Pikachu's tail had a black tip. Mirror, mirror on the wall, it was never magic. Massive capping, changing classics like timeline shift. Kit Kat, Fruit Loops, Flintstones chip. They just want to make a dopia. Like Fruit of the Loom may have a cornucopia. In a simulation full of AI agents, better call up Morpheus. We in the Matrix, living paycheck to paycheck inflation. Scroll till you brain dead, ain't been in space yet. Everybody racist. Why you complaining? America's the greatest, it's ran by the Masons. Now Bill Gates is vaccinating.
So I had to silence this video because they had music playing in the background. But obviously China and America have a different idea for what water does in space. That makes no sense to me.
When did the Chinese land on the moon?
I have no idea.
2013. Did you ever see the video?
No.
So the Chinese landed on the moon in 2013, and they released a video for it. But pretty quick, that video was taken down, and they said, no, it's just a joke, because it was so bad.
That's the video
it
we
was
just
so
watched.
fake. Because they didn't have, Kubrick,
China just turned on its artificial sun, and it burned 100,000 times hotter than lava and 5 times hotter than the actual sun. That's right, China's artificial sun burned for 17 minutes at around 70 million degrees Celsius. And scientists hope this will help harness the power of nuclear fusion, which could bring humanity to unlimited clean energy.
I don't know what this artificial sun is about. I haven't really looked into it, but it is weird.
This is the first spacewalk, conducted by Soviet cosmonaut Alexei Leonov on March 18, 1965. He was part of the Voskhod mission, the Soviet Union's attempt in competition with the US to reach the moon. Outside his craft for a little over 12 minutes. His suit ballooned when no longer constrained by the spacecraft's internal atmosphere, and he could not enter the airlock. Bleeding the suit beyond its safety limits to make it more flexible, he suffered the bends from decompression. He later noted he perspired so much the sweat sloshed around in his suit.
It's weird how Russia, China, India, all their space footage looks super fake. Ours does too, but not that fake. So as you see here, NASA has bubbles. NASA has this, China Space Agency has bubbles. They have strings. They have green screen. They have the same issues that NASA's having. Why is that?
Hey guys, What Curve here, and we have another one, this time the Chinese astronauts. They're on a zero-G plane and give the thumbs up. He thinks that he's floating right now, so he takes the paper and it drops instead of floating, and that is not supposed to happen, and they quickly switch the screen.
Next side of it is you're getting to be weightless for a couple of minutes. Well, we have what's called the vomit comet.
The airplane.
Without going into space, but it goes to a high enough altitude, and then it just sort of shuts off its engines and then drops. Or there are ways to control it so that the engines can simulate a free fall. But while in that period, you're weightless. In fact, they filmed all of Apollo 13. Although I was told all of the weightless scenes in Apollo 13 were actually filmed in the vomit comet.
Wow, so they were actually weightless.
They were actually weightless, not on cables. Right.
That is a level of commitment that you have to respect.
Yes.
First of all,
yes.
I feel like Neil deGrasse Tyson is the biggest gaslighter of history, okay? Our history, our lifetime. But I've seen like weightless environment centers at the mall before. I saw one they had at the mall. So my thing is, why would they use a airplane that would cost a lot of money, and it would seem like it'd be like very difficult to film while you're in this airplane going down in order to get a weightless environment? That makes no sense. Like, this fool just lies. Like, he's one of those people that thinks because he's book smart, he knows everything, and it just irritates me. He's like so cocky. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think Neil deGrasse Tyson's telling the truth about this stuff? These are just my opinions. Do your own research. But yeah, as far as filming Apollo 13, wouldn't it be much easier to film it in a studio with the weightless environment? Like, I'm pretty sure they have that. If not, correct me in the comments, because I know you guys love to do that.
Manifest, focus on the heart in the center of your chest, but it used to be the left side. Mandela effect, like, oh, and I know the Monopoly man had him on a go, bro. Why are they capping? The Raisin Bran son had a pair of sunglasses. Pikachu's tail had a black tip. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
So the Earth is spinning 2 ways in that video. Why? They make a lot of mistakes.
A happy landing for Russia's unmanned Lunar 17 spacecraft, and a big step forward for Soviet scientists in Lenin's Jubilee year. The first self-propelled vehicle ever to drive across the lunar landscape is controlled from Earth. It's called Lunar 1, and here's how this extraordinary Heath Robinson 8-wheeler was rolled down from the spacecraft onto the Sea of Rains. The size of the vehicle hasn't been disclosed, but it's been sending back television pictures and carries, among other equipment, a laser reflector. It's been used to survey the moon's surface. So now Soviet space experts have proved their theory that space exploration can be carried out by automatic equipment without risking the lives of astronauts. To Russia, Lunar is worth its weight in moon dust.
Womp, womp, womp.
Play the clip, D27, where Putin was at this conference, the AI conference of 2 years ago in Moscow. They were allowed to play with this, AI that's not available to the public, 10 AIs scrolled together, and it said the Apollo pictures were fake.
I saw that, and Putin is looking at the video, and he's like not surprised that checks out as fake.
My friend who was from Russia said that in high school they were teaching that the moon landing was a hoax.
Thought I just said that.
Here is the space shuttle launching a satellite. Watch when they pan up. You'll see the wire from the crane that's pulling it up. Ready? And there it is. See it?
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's from NASA. Okay, and watch it again. There it is. Spacewalks. Now look, where's the sun? The sun's behind the camera here because the Earth is lit. Where are all the satellites reflecting the sunlight? Right? Because at nighttime, I can see satellites. Somehow the sun's getting underneath them and reflecting back to my eyes. But here, where they're in perfect light, there's like not millions, thousands and thousands and thousands of satellites. No one has ever seen a satellite on film.
Yeah, I think there's something like 12,000 satellites in the sky. So, where are they? My next video will be about satellites and the space station. Are they real? Or are they on balloons? It sounds crazy, people, but wait till you see the proof I found. And that's the end of the video. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I hope you learned something, and I hope you share this with your friends. Maybe people who are skeptics or on the fence, maybe this will help them jump over that fence. But if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so now so you don't miss an episode in the future. Click that little bell icon and click the like button if you made it this far, because hey, you might have liked it. Let's help the algorithm grow, help people see this video who may not have seen it and may want to. As always, I'm Jay Tally. This is Jay Tally Reacts, and we have
Tally. Who manifest? I see it, I got it, I get it, no question.